Hello, I'm Leona Dooley, and this is Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme in the kitchen. And today, I'm hoping that you will follow along my day in a quarantine kitchen. And you're going to take a look from beginning to end, what I do first and the whole works throughout this day. And in preparation for the family, we're going to take a look at all the little humdrum things that have to be done. We have some groceries coming, and as you can see, I'm one of those that because of age that I have to be very careful when I'm going out. And certainly when I go out, I do not leave this house without mask, gloves. They're always available. And in fact, I have 2 or 3 masks in my purse, and I keep several pairs of gloves in there as well. So, not to forget. Keep in mind also that we are going through a serious situation. And it's a situation that I think that if we allow it, it will get the best of us. But if we're cautious and we're careful and we're loving, then we will be able to get through this pandemic in a not so scarred manner. Now, when I say scarred, it's not that it's going to be necessarily a bad scar, unless unfortunately you have lost loved ones, then yes, it is a very serious situation. And I do have friends who have lost members of their family, several members of their family, to the virus. And that in and of itself is very frightening. And now that it's possible for children to get ill, and other diseases are coming forth, and they are not friendly diseases. I take friendly in that they're easy to cure, and they're attacking critical parts of the body. This is serious. We need to take a look at it. We need to be very cautious, because any of us, if we go out and we come back in, whether it's for work or pleasure, we stand a chance of bringing the virus in our house and exposing those who live with us. So let's be careful. And I'm saying this in a very loving way, because I'm sure that each of you are doing just that. So be careful. If you could work from home, work from home. If you have to go to work, if they don't protect you, be smart. Protect yourself. Make sure you go in with your mask and your gloves. Don't play, because your health and your life is all you have. And you want to make sure that the life you live is a good one. So, I'm done preaching. So much for the day. Okay? Now, let's get happy. We're going to have fun today in the kitchen. We're going to be doing some things that you're going to go, oh my gosh, does she do that in the day? Yeah, I do. And so we're just going to take a look, and we're just going to spend time with each other, talk funny things, and just enjoy the pleasure of life. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Let's start at the very beginning. Well, good morning. It's time for recycling. And you know, some things go on no matter what. And that's one thing, trash and recycling. So I'm going to get everything down to where it needs to be so that they will pick it up today. Help me to figure out how we managed to accumulate so much cardboard. But you know what? I guess that's between Lowe's, Home Depot, and Amazon. And now for the rest. We're thought to have a beautiful day today, and we'll see, because the sun is shining now, And I'm hoping it's going to warm up a bit because yesterday was cold. Coffee, anyone? While I was out taking care of the recycling, I had turned the coffee pot on. So let's get a nice, large, hot cup of coffee, and then we'll sit down for a minute and talk about what's going to go on today. Okay, well, I'm taking you to the front of the house, and you're going to see that I kind of deposited some paper towel that I need to put up down here. And here is my bucket. This is the bucket that I use for as we bring things in through the front door, that I sit those in this bucket, and I probably sit them there for at least 24 hours. Now today we're going to do something different with the bucket, because its real reason for being here is to put on that front porch and receive deliveries. And today I have a grocery delivery that's going to be brought later on. So let's get it ready. The process of opening up a package. So let's get that done. Just gonna give me a fit, isn't it? Come on. Nothing's easy. Open it up. I think I know exactly what it is, but just in case. I wanted a wooden board. Decorative board, and I found one. I knew exactly what size I wanted, and I was able to do that. I was able to even tell them what I wanted on the board. So here is, oh, I think it's going to be so cute. As soon as I can get out from under all of this. How neat. This board is done by a company that's called Thyme. And I'll kind of give you a rundown of what it's got its name. I wanted my welcome, and the letters are on there. I have a little something that I'm going to put right there over the O. So a little wreath that's going to sit right there on that O. But I wanted this small because I'm actually going to use it indoors rather than outdoors. Now, of course, if it were going to be outdoors, and in fact, this has a hanger on the back. Now, you know, I'm looking at it, and the only complaint that I could tell you that I would have with this is the fact that, look, black, raw, black, raw. What were they thinking? Why didn't they at least paint the back? And then, you know, they're going to do what they're going to do on the front, but don't leave the back raw, you know, because that just messes up. And while I realize it's going to be hanging, you know, this would be a nice spot for it right here. Let's see if I can turn you without shaking the daylights out of you. But I could certainly put it, I'm just going to see if it will sit there. But I could put it on this wall And of course I could raise it up, but it would be right there. Now, true enough, I guess they're thinking that since they have a hanger on the back, that no one would ever see the raw side. I do. I paid for it. I see it. So they need to paint the back. And that's going to be my suggestion when I type my Etsy comments, is that great board, did a nice job, but paint the back. It needs to be done. So there it is. That's what I had in my box. It's been quite a start. And so what we're going to do at this point is to take a look at what our menu plans are going to be. And I'm thinking I want to try to start doing some things that I haven't done before. And you know, I just recently did the pork chops with the fennel and the blood oranges, and that was a lot of fun. But as the weather gets warmer, we're going to see more and more vegetables appear, hopefully, that are more seasonal. The peas certainly are probably going to be fairly seasonal. We're seeing a lot of asparagus and those kind of things. Now, for your nicer vegetables, you're going to have to go to your more high-end stores, because they seem to be the ones who have the better stock. So we're going to visit those places first. Now, I have to admit, Aldi has kept a good bit of vegetables. They've had a good run on vegetables as well. They usually try to find things that are in season. And so I really can't complain about Aldi's. My only complaint about Aldi's is that, unfortunately, it's a very small amount. So you end up having to do more than one. And so, because we eat a lot of vegetables, to be honest with you. So we have to work through that. So I'm going to think about those things as well. Plus, let's face it, at this point in time, I do not want to have to spend hours in the kitchen. And what I would really like to be able to do is to start a live program where we can really see each other face to face and to be able to talk to each other while we cook. So we're going to be thinking through that. So I'm just going to take a look at I have some of my favorite cooking magazines. I like Taste of Home. I like Entertain and Celebrate. I like Southern Living, has really nice recipes. And of course, Cooking Light, America's Test Kitchen has tremendous menus, and not menus, but recipes. And of course, you can go online, type in chicken, and you will get 10 million different recipes. And then it's just a matter of you're sitting there and trying to figure out what it is. I like when I can look through the magazine, see a picture of it and go, that looks pretty good. I think that look real nice. And so that's what we'd like to see. So let's take some time to do that. Now, also, I told you this morning I have grocery delivery. And so I'm going to see if the fellow puts everything in the bucket as he should. You know, you had to write in your request, and we'll see if that translates to the driver. But, you know, I haven't been a delivery girl because I love going to the grocery store. My children will tell you, when it comes to the grocery store, I can spend hours. I just want to walk through the aisles. I want to see what they have, if they have anything new I haven't tried. And how will I know that unless I walk through the aisles and browse? And unfortunately, with all the masks and the scare with COVID, I am in and out, even if I get there. And when I do go, they're fussing at us because we've been to the grocery store. So we we're trying to get in and out. We try to go very, very early in the morning if we're going to go to the grocery. And we just try to, do a little shopping here. But most of my shopping, the heavy duty shopping, I will have delivered. So let's see what we can come up with. Now, in addition to grocery delivery, we also have Bible study today. So I've got the computer set up. I've got our Bibles out. That's mine, and hubby's is over on the other side. So we are ready to go when it's time to do our Zoom link and set up our webinar. All right, well, I'm thinking about what I have in my refrigerator. I thought some chicken thighs. And I think I want to use my, I could either use my slow cooker, or I can just put this together as a casserole. I could even cook it in my brazier, and I'm thinking that's going to be my option. So we're going to use the brazier, and that should save us a lot of time. Now, if we have everything put together, then dinner will come together very quickly. So I have 4 chicken thighs, and these chicken thighs are with the bone. And the reason for that is that the bone is going to release its flavor into the juices. Okay, so that's going to be done. I'm going to need some chopped tomatoes, and that's something that I made sure I had on my shelf. Of course, we need chicken broth. Now, if you don't have chicken broth, you can certainly use water and a bouillon cube, chicken bouillon cube or 2. Start with 1 because they're pretty strong. Now, I want a red onion. And the only reason I'm being specific with that is because I have some out there that I need to use up. So I'm going to have a red onion that I'm going to dice. And let's see, I've got to hunt because I'm not so sure about this. But I think I'd like to have some artichokes. And if I can find them marinated, that would be great, because then there's a lot of flavor that's already in that marinade. If not, I do have in the refrigerator, and this is something you may want to start putting in your refrigerator, is pesto sauce. Because, oh my goodness, it has all the spices and all those good things that you will just love. Now, I need 2 cans of beans. If you have cannelli, which are the Italian Mediterranean beans, cannellini, I don't know if I can spell that right, not on screen. Cannellini. Okay, I think that's right. Cannellini beans. That's where you want to start. And if not, then you'll just want some white beans, if you have white beans, or whatever kind of beans you have, just no black beans. And so that takes care of that. Olives. You know I'm an olive girl. And it just so happens that I have in my refrigerator that needs to be used, I have some Kalamata olives. Kalamata olives. And if not, I definitely have green olives. So one or the other, or you can have a mixture if you like. Now, I also want a little bit of cheese. And if you have some feta cheese, that would be great. And you'll just, because feta is just going to be sprinkled over the top. So that's for topping. It's going to give it a smooth top. And so there's your feta. So we've got our pesto sauce, we've got our tomatoes, our chicken broth. I think this is going to come together very quickly. Now, to be honest with you, we could put this into cook the chicken in a slow cooker, put it in with the onions and the pesto sauce, the beans, and cook these things. I'm going to put this and your chicken, the broth, the chopped tomatoes, some of the chopped tomatoes, and then leave a few to kind of give it a little lift at the end. And we can add in some onion, but you do want some things that are going to hold their shape. Do not put the olives, the feta, those kind of things in. But those things you could put into a crock pot and walk away. And since we're home, you could put that in about noon, about 12 noon. And by dinner time, everything will be perfect. And you won't have to worry about anything. Now, typically, I don't add my artichokes until toward the end. The pesto sauce, we could actually put that in early. But the olives, the feta, and the artichokes, you will not want to put in until late. And that's so that because artichokes will cook away, the olives will get really, 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 really mushy. And of course, the feta is just a topping, just strictly the topping. So here we've got it. We've got our chicken, tomatoes, broth. I really think I'm going to put this, rather than in the brazier, I think I'll do it in my crock pot. I haven't pulled my crock pot out in quite a while. And it's crying to be used. So tonight is going to be the night. Let's get it ready. Works. All right. The first thing we got to do is to clean this baby up because, as I said, I have not used my crock pot in probably this particular one in a year. And that's because this is a smaller version, as you can see, and it needs a good cleaning. I have a shelf in the garage that I put all of most of the appliances on, and it sometimes gets lost out there because of the fact that it is out of sight. And that's something to think about. You know, something that you are going to use often, you're going to want within sight so that it won't be hard for you to remember, first of all, that you even have it. And we won't even talk about some of those things. So I am just trying to clean this up and get it ready. I'm giving it a good wash inside and out. And of course, this is the part that's not supposed to go in the water. I've already messed up a part of that, so that's going to have to dry a minute. But all the dowels are fine. Everything's clean. And like I said, at noon, we'll turn it on. Because we typically eat dinner about between 5 and 5:30. I like to eat early so that your food has a chance to digest before time to go to bed. You do not want to go to sleep on too full of the stomach, because that's just not good. So everything's ready. The top is clean. Man. All right, so let's get all of this rinsed off well. Get a towel. My Kool-Aid container. Okay, our scissors. There we go. Let's get this other part cleaned up. All right, there she goes. She is ready for today. So we're going to put all of our ingredients that are going to go in the crock pot. We're going to prepare them. We're going to get them into a Ziploc bag. Or if you have a plastic container, you can put them in. You can certainly put everything together in the plastic container. So, let's get that done. And this way, you'll know that you already have what you need. I'm going to need a large Ziploc bag. Now, you know my preference is always for a large freezer bag. And because the freezer bags hold up well. And we're going to get this chicken in there. All right, so this is chicken. I don't have a name for it yet. But looks kind of, we'll call it a pesto chicken for now. That name may change by the time you see it. So, chicken with pesto, beans and tomatoes. Has a very Mediterranean style, but you know, I've got all kinds of Mediterranean dishes that are out there. So, we'll give it something different. I'll come up with something. I'm gonna have to go and check on my Italian because, you know, I haven't used that in a while. Okay, so let's put everything all together. Now, like I said, I have a 4-pack of chicken thighs. So let me find a knife sharp enough to open it. I didn't really need anything gigantic, but that seems to be what's coming forward. So, let's open it up. And this has been in my freezer. I took it out yesterday for it to thaw, and it feels like it's partially frozen. Now, I've laid a towel down so that I can work with this and it will not go on my board. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it inside the bag and give it a flip. And hopefully it will all come out. There we go. Everything's out. See if I can get this backing off. And you know, there we go. It does. Sometimes they'll come off very easily, especially if it's not completely thawed. Ta-da! That's done. So the chicken is in. Now let's think about this chicken. Now I'm going to break it up. It is thawed enough for me to be able to do that. And by the time it goes into the crock pot, who will care? We're going to need openers for our Cannellini beans and the tomatoes. And I'm using, these are whole peeled San Marzano tomatoes. So let's get those. I want the juice. And I'm going to use all those tomatoes. Let me, we have a little bit of pesto. I'm going to throw a little liquid in here, a little water, cool water. Fill it up. I'm going to give it a good shake. I want everything to loosen in there. Okay, so that part to be ready. The good thing about pesto sauce, it's got the garlic, it's got the basil, it's got all those good flavors that are Mediterranean that you like. So I'm going to open the beans while we're waiting, and I'm also going to let them drain. So I'm going to need to do that. I won't rinse them, I'll just drain them. Because we want a sauce, but we don't want the ooey gooey, sticky, icky that sometimes beans can have because they have a lot of starch. So let me get my, here we go. I'm going to put them in here. And then we give them time to drain. Just give them a little shake and let them drain. So they're going to sit there and drain. That's one. Now let me get the other one. I'm going to bring you with me. Hope we can do this smoothly. I'm going to take you into the sink. Better yet, I guess I better raise you up and put you there. And you can see everything I'm doing. Now, so there's our beans. They're sitting there and they're draining. I'll put that over there. And I have a second can. Beans are so good for you. All right. I'm just going to rinse the pan so that when I recycle them, they won't start to smell. And I have a bag that I keep all the recycled cans in. So we'll recycle that. And you know, this is pretty thick. Now these are supposed to be organic. They're Kroger's line. So I'm just going to run a little water over them. Okay, I'm good with that. Now I'm going to bring my bag over here with the chicken. And I am going to toss the beans in. Okay, the beans are in. Ta-da! All right, beans in, chicken in. All of this eventually will go into the crock pot. So let's go back over here because we still have a few things to do to that. Okay, we need seasonings. Now, I'm going to take our jar of pesto sauce that we had, that we rinsed, and we're going to pour that in. Oh, can you smell it? Smell the garlic, smell the basil, all the little kind of herbs, the thyme, and we're going to add, bringing out three things. I'm going to add some house seasoning. I try to put things away as we're doing this. And we've got house seasoning. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to put in a good teaspoon. And I'm going to try to sprinkle as much over. That's 1 teaspoon. I'm going to try to get a little more, just a little more, and sprinkle it over on the back. Because you got a back and a front of the bag. Okay. So let's put that off to the side. I also want to add my favorite, a little pepperoncino, just enough to give it that little extra kick. So I'm doing about a half teaspoon, not enough to make it hot, just enough to give it the spicy kick. It's not going to be such that your children can't eat it. It's just enough to elevate the flavor. All right, I have some chicken bouillon. I want to kick up the chicken flavor. So I'm going to do a heaping teaspoon of chicken bouillon. Heaping teaspoon of chicken bouillon. Now, if later you find that you need a little more, you can certainly add that. Now, we have our can of tomatoes. And it has lots of good juices. Let's try to get those juices in first. So I'm going to take this, hold it up, and pour the juices in, because I want all of that. Okay, now when we were in Spain and in Italy, they like more chunky tomatoes. So I'm going to take this knife, since I've got it, I'm just going to kind of give it a cut, and I'm going to go in with my cooking scissors, my cooking shears, and I'm just going to cut. Because I don't want those little teeny tiny diced tomatoes, if you can help it. But if you have it, you know, and if I didn't have these, that would be exactly what I would be using. I'd pour those little tiny diced tomatoes in there and be happy. All right, so I have cut up our whole tomatoes. Typically, the whole San Marzano tomatoes have great flavor, and never, never, never not rinse your can, always. Italian grandmothers tell you that. All right, voila. Now, we've got a little more seasoning that needs to go in there. Notice we haven't put any salt in, and that's because I'm going to add a little bit of thyme. Just a little bit. And as I put it in, I'm going to kind of rub it. And wake it up. There we go. There's our thyme. It smells good. And somewhere I have a container of Italian seasonings. Parsley. I've got everything but what I want. Oh, here's our herbs of Provence. And black pepper, always. Herbs of Provence. I'll put in about, let's see how good I am. Almost a full teaspoon of herbs of Provence. That was pretty good. And the only thing missing at this point is the pepper. So we're going to sprinkle in some pepper. Put in about a half teaspoon of pepper. Because remember, your pepperoncino and your pepper have different flavors. So, all right, we're going to fold this. We're going to zip, zip, zip. And we're going to try to zip it as far over as we can. Then, I'm actually going to turn it on its side. And I'm going to see if I can zip out some of the air. Take some of the air out. You'll feel it coming out. There we go. So, dinner is in our bag. Now what this is going to do is that these flavors are going to marinate. They're going to marinate And this is going to be delicious. I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator, 12 noon. I'll bring you back. Okay, well, I'm taking you to the front of the house, and you're going to see that I kind of deposited some paper towel that I need to put up down here. And here is my bucket. This is the bucket that I use for as we bring things in through the front door, that I sit those in this bucket, and I probably sit them there for at least 24 hours. Now today we're going to do something different with the bucket, because its real reason for being here is to put on that front porch and receive deliveries. And today I have a grocery delivery that's going to be brought later on. So let's get it ready. Well, the delivery was just made, and she put them right there in that basket. I hope you have had a wonderful time in the kitchen, and I hope that you will continue to be a part of the Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme family. I have certainly enjoyed your presence. We recycled, made sure all of that got out. We made sure that we planned our meal early so that we could marinate it and have it ready. We decided to pull out a tool we hadn't used in a while, which in my case was my slow cooker. And, I'm here. I used it almost every other day when I was working every day. But now I don't take it out that often because I'm right here and I just do whatever I have to do right there for dinner. But I decided, why not? Why not? It's here, use it. Otherwise, I need to give it away. So we had an opportunity to do that. And it was a delicious dinner and well cooked and not overly cooked, because sometimes slow cookers can kind of overcook your food. So our meal was delicious. So I am just looking forward to seeing you right here in this kitchen. We have some great things planned in this kitchen. I've got some decorating ideas that we're going to get into. We got some lanterns we want to do, and we've got holidays coming up. So if you're interested in those kind of things, come back to the kitchen of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme, where we work hard, we love God and family, and we know without a doubt that everything else is just gravy. I'll see you soon.